G'day, cunts. Welcome to episode 1 of the GreenCast, a podcast by Mr. GreenTexts. This episode's just going to be a solo one for now. In the future, I'll probably bring on some other narrators and other shitposters eventually to this podcast, but for now, the first episode's just going to be about me. I've got some topics lined up to talk about today, as well as a couple of questions from a bunch of you autismos. So first off, what the fuck was that thing that you just watched? I don't know. It was just a cool thing I actually made for a live stream this is, you see, the thing about a podcast is, I can't really edit it, so you're gonna hear how fucking autistic I am when I speak. I see in the comments a lot with people, saying that I missed a line or whatever the fuck. Occasionally that does get past me, but I usually do it all in one take and then just edit it out. So you're gonna hear a full, unfiltered, autistic Mr. GreenText and how he says everything wrong, but yet he has a channel where he reads shit. Anyway, as I was saying, before I immediately went off topic, a minute into the podcast, I swear I didn't copy War's Rocking, really. I really enjoyed his sort of like shitpost thing about Australia, and that was the thing too. I wanted a different persona apart from the old heavy that I had, because I don't know, I'm Australian and I kind of just wanted to embrace the stereotype. Embrace, there's me fucking accent slipping out again. Embrace the accent and everything else. My god, this is a fucking train wreck. Why are you listening to this? Yeah, I don't know. The intro was gonna be for the live stream that I had. Unfortunately, my internet is so shit, I could literally not keep a stream up for longer than 5 seconds. And that's not even a meme. I should probably really delete it. It's on my channel. I've got a live stream titled The Wrong Thing that goes for 5 seconds, because I didn't know where my live stream software was actually going to output to, because I had used it for other things before, so I didn't know which channel it was linked to, so I just clicked start streaming, and thankfully I had it on one of my other desktops, and it just streamed 5 seconds on my desktop, and it got 2,000 views. Whoops. But yeah, I tried to do some tests. I tried to do an unlisted stream, but still somehow accidentally went live to actual people. I tried to stream it, but I could not get any more than a consistent about 50 kilobyte a second upload, which is funny to me because a lot of the time I see Americans complaining about their internet speeds and I've only got 5 megabytes, or I've only got 10 megabyte download. I'm so slow. The government's fucking us. They should give me faster internet. Whereas me over here, I have, worse internet than a fucking third world country over here. Like, we're literally, number, 57, I think, last time I checked, in the world, rated in internet speeds, which is fucking appalling when you consider, Australia is one of the 7 continents of the world. Basically, the government gave us a choice about 5 years ago at this point, between these two systems of rolling out an upgraded internet, because they did actually plan to upgrade us eventually. But basically, we had a PM switch, which is Prime Minister, because we have Prime Ministers, we don't have presidents, because we like to be different and we're part of the Commonwealth. We had a PM switch in between the vote for the rollout system. So basically, the first system was rolling out the NBN to everybody, ripping up the old copper lines, but that would take up to 4 years, they said originally. The other option we had was to just upgrade the current copper lines, which already have a cap, and they wouldn't really be able to boost it that much. Originally, I think the upgrading of the copper lines would be, 5 to 10 meg speeds, whereas if they just replaced it with the new NBN National Broadband Network, we'd get up to 10 to maybe 100 megabytes a second. But for some fucking reason, retards voted to just vote for the upgrading, because that rollout would be quicker, because it wouldn't have to actually rip out the existing network. So because of that, a lot of people have just gotten fucked. But even still, the quicker method where they're like, oh, it's okay, it's fine, it'll take like 2 years. It's been 5 fucking years later, and I've still got the same shit internet. Like, I've had the same speeds since like 2010. This is fucking appalling. It's so sad, it hurts to do anything. Like, just to give you perspective, like sometimes, most of the time, if there's a 720p, 60. I'm autistic. See, this is why I edit stuff. 60 frames a second. Sorry, that's what I meant. Yes, 60 frames a second video. I just have to put it to 480p because my internet's literally not fast enough to stream it and load it. So if there's a YouTube video with 60 frames a second, like a lot of some bigger gameplay channels, Funhouse for example, most of their gameplays are 60 frames a second, and I just can't stream it because my internet's so shit. It even just trying to download stuff, like totally legal versions of films, that can take up to, well, my internet usually equates to about maybe just under a gig an hour, which for downloading literally any game kind of hurts me on the inside. For example, I recently, that's a whole fucking thing that I'm going to get into now. PC games. So because of our shit internet here, I prefer to buy PC games, a physical copy of them, because they include the discs. And I mean, nowadays they all just have a fucking day one patch where you just have to patch half the game anyway, but it's still half the game that I don't have to download. I bought a physical copy of Doom, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I can't wait to play this game, it's gonna be so fun. It arrives, I open it up, it includes one disc, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. Oh, I think they must, here I am thinking that they've got a new sort of system of storing stuff on discs, thinking there's a higher capacity for them, because, you know, I mean, Doom it's going to be like 30 gig at least, I reckon. And yeah, it turns out that they only included the one disc, and then it's just got at the back of it saying you have to put your Steam key into Steam and download the rest of the game. And I'm like, cool. Could have bought that on Steam for an extra less than $5 and just instead of paying for a disc where I just have to fucking download it anyway. Oh, it's so cancerous. Fucking Australia, man. Oh my god. But yeah, our internet's shit, and I mean, it's, whoops, bumped the mic there for a second. It's to the point where if I'm gonna upload a video, thankfully, I use Adobe Premiere, and they have some nice compression methods, and most of the time my videos average between like 30 to 90 megabytes, and some of them, like the 90 megabytes, like some of like the memeier content, like the read the first letter of every line, those ones usually like 100 to 200 meg, and those ones could take up to like an hour and a half to 2 hours to fucking upload. It's so cancerous. So I usually just like batch upload like 5 videos and then just leave it overnight and then hope that they don't fucking fuck up or something during overnight, or schedule it wrong and then accidentally upload 2 videos in one day when you were only supposed to upload 1. Wonder who'd do that. I don't know. But yeah, so next topic in hand. I recently had a meeting with a person from my network. I'm part of an MCM, I'm part of Broadband TV, and ages ago, I got an email from them asking if I want to be part of their new interview help program thing. I can't remember the name of it. But basically, we're supposed to schedule like one-on-one interviews with some like audience developers, audience development program people, or they just help grow my channel and shit. Which I have other YouTube channels which I'm trying to keep separate from this, but I was hoping they could help with some of those ones, because this one seems to be doing alright. But I mean, I'll take all the help I can get, really. I mean, I'm not really going to complain if helps my channel actually grow. Which I had the meeting on Thursday, and I'm currently recording this on Saturday, and I'm already seeing like a huge increase in traffic and subscribers and everything, so it seems to be working. But the meeting was kind of really awkward. Thankfully, I had a guy on the younger end of the spectrum, Because the first question he asked was, could you describe your channel? And I'm like, how the fuck do I describe my channel? Usually, like, sometimes if I'm in, like, a real-life one-on-one setting, and sometimes I drop that, like, oh, yeah, I've got a channel with a decent amount of subs, and they're like, oh, what do you upload? I'm just like, I narrate stories from the internet that are sometimes edgy. And so that's basically what I had to say to this guy was, oh, yeah, I narrate stories from 4chan that are usually edgy. So that was pretty funny. And then he had my channel up on the screen, and this was the day that the Cousin's Feet video went live too, and he was actually genuinely chuckling at like some of the titles and how fucking dumb they are. So some of the stuff that he actually told me about was basically just like some keyword search terms that I should try and make use of, and branding a lot harder, which is why recently I changed all of my videos to have GreenText readings / stories in the title, just so I can help people actually find my shit. Because someone looking through, because I'm just imagining a lot of the time, I mean, I don't know how the fuck you cunts are finding my content, to be honest, or why the fuck you're even clicking on it, because it's just like some weird stock picture with a really ambiguous title that's something retarded, and they click on it and they're like, oh, it's a green text, okay, that's weird. So he's looking through a lot of my titles, and there's like, for example, he just uses vegan as like an example as to search through YouTube to show some branding. And basically it's just stuff like using the same word over and over again and just getting a good searchable term. Even just using stuff like Google Trends is a really good way to test some keywords and see how they stack up against others. And so he used the tapeworm video, for example. The video where a guy is having sex with his girlfriend, having anal, and then pulls out a tapeworm out of her asshole. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm going to type the tapeworm into the search bar of YouTube. And then the first... Actually, I'm going to do this right now. Because the suggested results are actually pretty funny. Tapeworm. So the first result when you type in tapeworm into the YouTube is tapeworm coming out of mouth, tapeworm coming out of anus, tapeworm removal from anus, tapeworm sushi, tapeworm coming out. So the guy's just like, oh, okay, I didn't really expect that. When I mean, like, it's a tapeworm. Of course people are searching that shit. And so he's kind of got himself stuck in this position where he's using this in this example, and he has to say something, and anus just happens to be there 3 times in the search terms. So it's just like, oh, so for example, you should put anus in your tags and somehow construct a sentence with the word anus in your description. And he's like, oh, that's the first time I ever said the word anus in a professional setting. And I'm just like cackling because it's fucking hilarious having a dude take this shit seriously. But I mean, I kind of am taking it seriously at the same time, because I mean, I am making money off this, and a decent money too. It's kind of funding some of my other stuff that I'm doing, as well as actual stuff for this channel. I bought a brand new mic, as you probably already noticed, a good couple months ago at the start of this year. So that's kind of improved. But yeah, so that meeting was interesting to say the least. Apparently it's a 5-part meeting as well, so he scheduled it for, I think, a couple of weeks from now, and there's going to be another 4 of those. But yeah, he suggested a bunch of other, just like a bunch of keyword search terms and just optimization, metadata, yeah, that happened. Ignore that. Metadata search terms. That's what I was trying to say before I had a fucking stroke. But yeah, that was that. What else have I really been up to? I've got some longer videos in the works as well. I've got The Great Tard War, except, ironically, The Great Tard War was written by a tard, and it took me so fucking long to record that shit, because it was just written so poorly, and there's, like, no grammar at all. Which, I mean, Typically, there really isn't in GreenTexts, but the Great Tide War was written like a story. It wasn't typically in the GreenText sort of format, like one line sort of style. It was written out like a full-on story. And someone who's autistic that can't even write one like line story, writing an entire normal sort of story just didn't really end well at all. So that's coming. I just gotta muster up the energy to edit it and not cringe at myself having like fucking 5 attempts at a couple of lines. I'm gonna have a drink and then not edit it out because my voice is already going and my mouth is getting dry. You enjoying this? I don't know why people... Why am I uploading this? Jesus fucking Christ. But yeah, I've got some longer ones in the works. Someone suggested another long one that I've got and just need to record. I'll probably do that tomorrow. Although I've already got like the next week's worth of content already uploaded, because that's just how I work. I just make a bunch of videos in one day and then schedule them so that I don't have to worry about it and then freak out because you actually have it run by videos scheduled. I don't know what I'm saying. Why are you listening to this? Why is anyone listening to this? Holy fuck. This is the first time I've really recorded like a podcast before. Especially in a solo sense. I've been on a heap of other people's podcasts. I mean, if you're really like a fan of me or whatever the fuck, you probably watch Punish Creep Works as well. I've been on his podcast a lot. But he also cuts me off a lot. The guy has a lot to say and has a lot of strong opinions, which I mean, like, that's America for you, compared to Australia, where we just don't give a fuck, mate. Just don't give a fuck. I don't know. I feel like that's one of the biggest differences between America and Australia. America just feels a lot more serious, whereas Australia's just... I feel like we're a lot more chill. We just don't give a shit about stuff. Speaking of shit about shit that I don't give. Man, this podcast is rough. Speaking about stuff I don't give a shit, school shootings. Here we go, boys. Get into this. Yeah, I don't really care about school shootings at this point anymore. In America, specifically. I mean, Australia, we haven't had a mass shooting since 1996. Because, you know. But, I mean, I'm not going to get into a debate, because I don't fucking care at this point. America just has a completely different culture to us. It's ingrained in their fucking culture to own a gun. And it's just at that point where you just can't get it out of people's minds that owning this killing machine is just a God-given right. Which, I mean, sure, I guess. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know that much about Australian law, surprisingly. I don't think we had, like, a right to own a gun. It was just a thing that you could have, I guess. But yeah, again, I'm not getting into the debate, because I don't care, because you're not gonna change. Every time fucking a mass shooting happens, all the politicians, they go, maybe we should ban guns, and then America goes, no, you shouldn't, because if you ban guns, then no one will have guns to protect themselves from the other people that will get guns illegally. Which, I mean, okay, I guess. I mean, if you tried hard enough here in Australia, you could probably get guns, but no one's protecting themselves with guns. I'm fine. I have a knife. I have fists. I'm a big boy. Me big boy. But yeah, again, I'm probably already shit-staring people already just by kind of mocking gun culture at this point. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, guns are cool. I like guns. I own a bunch of replica guns from films. And a bunch of other stuff, because I'm a filmmaker. I own a bunch of props that I rent out to people on occasion and use for my own productions. But I mean, it's just been smart with being able to use it. Just have orange tips and just alert the police that when you're filming in that sort of place. Yeah, sure, splace. That's a fucking word. Yeah. Again, I'm already getting off topic. I don't care about mass shootings because you're not going to change. I think you're looking into banning bump stocks or whatever the fuck. I don't know what that really does. I think it's something rather about turning it into a machine gun because it reduces the vibrations. I don't know. I don't own proper guns. All my guns are fucking plastic and 3D printed. Fucking hell. Oh man, America. Fucking, we want to be like you, but not the guns and the killing. Oh, fuck. Alright, anyway, on to my next topic, I guess. I'm a pretty big fucking nerd, I guess. Probably in the more comic book superhero sense. So if you don't really like that sort of thing, too fucking bad, I'm gonna talk about it. I don't really watch anime particularly. I've been watching Dragon Ball Super, but I can't watch the Japanese version. Cause I mean, I like a bunch of kids, honestly, growing up, with Dragon Ball Z. I just had the English dub, and that's just been in my head every time, and I just can't get over the fact when Goku powers up, he just goes, ha! And just the high-pitched fucking voice. I just, I can't, dude. I can't. But I really wanted to talk about the newest film that, that was, tasted that one. The newest film that DC Comics just announced that they're doing. They just announced that they're going to do a DC New Gods film. And it's going to be directed by the black woman who just came out with A Wrinkle in Time, which I haven't seen, but, I mean, kind of just looks like the typical sort of Disney over-the-top spectacle movie. Which really fucking confuses me as to, one, why the fuck they're doing this film, and two, why the fuck did you hire a kids film director? What the fuck? For the three of you that actually care, New Gods in the DC context is, well, I mean, how do I describe it, actually? Okay, so there's basically the old gods, which is your typical sort of Greek style, which Wonder Woman is a part of, obviously, since her father was Zeus and everything. The new gods are the new gods of New Genesis, which are a race of people who are at war with the gods of Apocalypse, which is where Darkseid lives, which is a major Justice League villain. But it really just confuses me as to why they're fucking doing it. I've seen a lot of people say that they shouldn't do it because people don't know the new gods. But I mean, at the same time, people didn't know who the fuck Guardians of the Galaxy were when that came out. But I mean, new gods, what the fuck? I mean, maybe you could do something with Mr. Miracle, who was a guy who... Oh man, I'm really fucking getting into this nerdy shit, aren't I? Whatever, I'm fucking committed at this point. Basically, Mr. Miracle is a son of New Genesis that got traded with... Basically, Apocalypse and New Genesis traded sons to broker a peace between them. And so Mr. Miracle was the son of New Genesis that got traded to Apocalypse, and basically just got treated as a... I was about to say traitor, but not quite. Treated as a prisoner. And basically spent his whole life in like a cell. And he is a expert escape artist. So basically, every time Darkseid and the gods of Apocalypse would try and imprison him, he'd just escape. And that's like his thing, is Mr. Miracle, the escape artist, escaping from everything. And then also he falls in love with Big Barda. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it too hard, but I don't know. Maybe there's something you could do with it, but fucking... Why? 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 That's the question. I mean, it wasn't until literally like the other week that the fucking Flash film just got a director, and it's been without a director for fucking almost like a year at this point. And also, I mean, that's another thing. Why the fuck are you doing a Flashpoint film when you've got like 4 or 5 films under your belt at this point, when like one has been a real commercial success at this point? I don't get DC. But man, oh, well, I mean, since I'm talking about DC, how's that fucking... How about the Infinity War trailer, though? Huh? Did you enjoy that? Yeah, getting ready? You doing your marathon? You getting through that, huh? 18 films with Phase 4 to come after as well. You enjoying that? I'm gonna have another drink because my mouth's getting fucking dry again. I don't know, man. I mean, everybody and their dog is gonna see the new Infinity War. I am too. I'm probably gonna go to a midnight screening, somewhere. Because I mean, it's literally been 18 fucking films. Actually, 18 films at this point, leading up to this one fucking interaction, which is, the reason why Justice League kind of failed, because you had 4. Wait. 3, 4? Wait. Yeah, 4 films, and then, 2, none of them, 2 of them were solo. And, yeah, I mean, no one really got to know the characters. You introduced 3 new characters in the film. Fucking DC. God damn it. You're my favorite comic book fucking people, but you're just fucking it up, man. You're fucking it up for the rest of us. And I mean, it's a worry as well, because, I don't know. I'm tooting my own horn, but, I kind of work in the film industry, as well. I've got an action short film, releasing, I don't know when, to be honest, because basically we want to put our short film into a film festival, and film festivals all have a specific cut-off date and actual premiere date. And when you want a film festival run for a film, your film cannot be public anywhere on the internet, and they all want their own rights to actually screen the film. So basically, I can't put it online anywhere until it's had its full film festival run. But on that action short film, I actually worked with an actual professional Hollywood stunt team, believe it or not, who just, at the time when I was doing my film degree at university, my lecturer just recommended me this chick, who then also just went and talked to her fiance, who was a brother, is doing stunt coordination for Thor Ragnarok, and the chick that's also in our film as well is the lead stunt double, was the lead stunt double for Scarlett Johansson in the Ghost in the Shell film. And this stunt team, they're Australian. They do travel the world and stuff like that. When Thor Ragnarok was here, they were doing stunt stuff for them. When the Pacific Rim 2 was here, they were doing stuff for them. And when the Aquaman film was majoritarily apparently filmed in Australia, which is also another thing that was hilarious to me. 2 years ago at this point, fucking 2 years ago, Jesus, I went and stayed at a place called Stradbroke Island, where is a little sort of island off the coast of Australia, and we had a bit of a getaway with a shit ton, probably about 20 people that were in my film degree with me. It just so happened that literally the second unit of Aquaman was filming across the road from us, which literally a house full of film students having a fucking Hollywood film shooting across the road from you was kind of hilarious to us. So we're chatting up a bunch of like the guys that were actually on production and stuff like that. But as I got off topic once again, the stunt team, by the time they came on our short film, I think they'd already wrapped on Aquaman doing all their sort of stuff. And they were telling us stuff about the production, which I don't know if I should really be saying it, but fucking whatever, I don't give a shit. They were really worried about the production, because it was in production, and when I say in production, there's typically 3 stages of a film. There's post-production, which is all your planning, script writing, calling locations, making sure everyone's available. Production is actually filming and everything during that, and the post-production is just editing the film, visual effects and everything like that. So they were part during most of the production of the film, and they were really worried, which, I mean, I am too, because they were in production for probably about a year, which is insane, considering most films maybe in production for maybe like half a year, maybe to 8 months at max, which is, yeah, really worrying. And they were just saying that Warner Brothers just keeps throwing money at it in hopes to fix it, because they were also in the middle of the Justice League stuff, and people sort of shitting on that, and they're also kind of shitting their bed because they just keep pumping money into this film, hoping that it doesn't fucking flop. And apparently there was some early reviews out for it, and they're saying that they're optimistic, but I mean, they've said that for every DC film so far, so take that with a fucking grain of salt, I guess. Alright, so enough of me rambling, I guess. It's time for the shittest part of the podcast, or the most autistic part of the podcast, I should say, where I take questions from you cunts. So basically, I put up a thing on my community tab of my YouTube channel where I just put out the thing asking if anyone has any questions or whatever the fuck, or anything they want me to talk to me about. So I'll take screen caps of each question that I'll answer, and I'll do my best to answer it, I guess. I'll just give the page a bit of a refresh to see if there's anything new. Dead air while I'm reloading. Okay, so first question I have is from Seth Hackley, and he asks, "Are traps gay?" Yes. Next question. False name. Why is Obama and Osama sound so the same? How long is a piece of string? That's my answer. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there's plenty of fucking conspiracy theories. Actually, wasn't there one ages ago that's saying that Obama's actually from Afghanistan or some shit like that? I don't know. I don't particularly follow that hard with American politics, so yeah. Mr. YouTube asks, "What is life like as a proud homosexual?" Oh man, being gay is the fucking best. I mean, I wouldn't know, but I mean, I'm a fucking beta, so I couldn't really tell you, even if I was straight. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like being gay would be a lot easier than being straight. And I mean that in the sense that, I mean, guys are pretty fucking straightforward most of the time. I know a couple of gay people. I worked on a gay man. Ooh. I worked with a gay dude with a documentary not too long ago. And I occasionally talk to him every now and then. And he'll just like post up screenshots from his Grindr conversations. And it's just guys just fucking message each other. Just being like, "Hey, you look pretty cute. Want me to suck your dick?" And then, I mean, this fucking gay dude probably has the best fucking sex life of anybody that I ever know. Because everyone's just so straightforward. Oh my god. AA asks, the state of the US, and if politicians... Oh my god, see, this is how bad I am at fucking reading stuff, yet I have a reading channel. The state of the US, and if political... Oh my god, see, this is... Oh, this is embarrassing. State of the US, and if political tensions will continue to rise as the 2020 election approaches, and what the boiling point will be that leads towards a civil war. So... It's a good question. I don't fucking know. I mean, from Australia's point of view, looking at America, it's fucking hilarious because you're basically a reality show at this point. Well, I mean, your country's run by a reality star, which is hilarious to us. I don't know if you'll get a civil war at this point, but if it does, it'll probably be a really big fucking bloodshed, because, you know, everybody with their gun rights and fighting back the government or whatever the fuck, which is also another thing that I find hilarious, because good luck as a people fighting a literal military with, you know, drones and tanks and shit. He also asks whether or not anime is a mistake. Most of it is a fucking mistake, yes. which ones are a good fucking example? A lot of the weird, like, schoolgirl ones I don't understand. Brr. Yeah, I don't get it. Again, the only anime that I really watch is Dragon Ball, and I've watched season 1 of Attack on Titan. I never got around to watching season 2. I kind of enjoyed that, I guess. And I watched Pokemon as a kid. That's about the only anime that I watched. Oh, here's a fucking good one. Jaden asks, "How do you feel about Tony Abbott, cunt?" How do I feel about good old fucking budgie smugglers? I don't know. He's a fucking meme. So here's a fucking thing. So our Prime Minister ate an onion live on TV and just ate it like an apple. Don't know why I wanted to share that with you, but it's really funny because he's one of the guys that dodges around stuff that he doesn't like a lot. Recently, and when I say recently, I think end of last year, gay marriage just finally went through, and Tony Abbott is really against it. But the funny thing is, he has a sister who's gay as well, and everyone keeps bringing that up to him, and he keeps getting triggered by it. But I mean, it's also political climate here is much different to America, mostly because voting is what's the word? You have to vote. Don't know what the word is. Yeah, if I don't vote, I get a fine, and that can rack up pretty fucking quick. Which, I mean, is funny in America. I think they should adopt that too, because, like, I don't know, I'm talking out my ass, but I feel like it was like a third of the American populace voted in the last election between Trump and Hillary. Which, I mean, yeah, there were lesser of two evils, but fucking come on, man. Don't bitch about fucking politics if you didn't actually fucking have your say, you fucking cunt. Let's see. Ben White asks, "Why your voice gay?" Dunno. Feel like I didn't get my share of testosterone levels and my voice never dropped. I wish I had a fucking deeper voice. But then again, I've never smoked a day in my life, so I'll probably never have a deep voice, unfortunately. Aldo H asks, "Any romantic relationship stories, good and bad? Also talk about dead memes." Oh boy. Romantic relationship stories. Don't really have... Yeah. So, as you could kind of fucking imagine, I'm a fucking beta. I don't really have any romantic relationship stories. I haven't really even had, like, a proper girlfriend, to be honest. I do kind of have a somewhat relationship story with this chick that I was kind of thinging with for a while. And by thinging, I mean being a pussy and just being friends with a chick and never taking it any too further. Because I'm a fucking beta. Basically, there's just this chick in high school that was a year above me that I just got close to and just would hang out a lot. Basically, I don't know, we kept up with each other for a while throughout high school, and then, like, a couple of years after. But it got to a point where she got to university and she just met a new group of people, and we kind of just, like, went our own separate ways. And it wasn't to a point where, after seeing Batman vs Superman with her, afterwards she was telling me about her sexcapades, where she fucked a guy, in the dark, who she didn't even know what she looked like, because it was dark, and she was bored. And I'm like, cool. I don't know what to do with this information. And then just stop talking to her. I kind of just... Well, I mean, I didn't really ghost her because I didn't even fucking remove her from anything. But yeah, that's pretty much the only really, like, relationship story that I have, is getting cucked by some ugly dude. Oh, also dead memes. what do you want me to say about dead memes? I don't know. Uganda Knuckles is a pretty dead meme at this point, which was kind of funny for the first couple of weeks, and then it got old pretty fucking quick. Some of my favorite dead memes, or even just memes of all time, I love a good Rickroll every now and then. Probably like once a year at this point, I still get Rickrolled, which is still pretty funny to me. John Cena is still one of my classic favorites. There was a good hot minute where fucking everything was just a John Cena meme. Occasionally that still does pop through. One of the my favorite dead memes that I'm so glad are dead is the fucking Cash Me Outside girl, which just her whole fucking persona just pisses me off, because she just act like she's fucking top shit, and because she got all this internet fame from it, she acts like she's a fucking Kardashian, which is hilarious to me. Well, I mean, MTV gave her a fucking TV show for some reason, and just went straight to her head. There was this famous Dr. Phil clip with her, and she's just acting like a fucking cunt. And I'm just so glad that she's irrelevant now. James K. Polk asks, why did my wife leave me? Probably because you're watching my fucking content, and that's a pretty good reason to leave anybody, to be honest. And finally, Retro Brett asks me, how do I feel about the Smash announcement, and do I think it's a port of the Smash 4 or a completely new Smash? I actually don't own any recent Nintendo devices. The last one that I bought was a Nintendo DS. I don't even have a 3DS. I really want to play some of the new Pokemons. I need to catch up on like 4 games at this point, but I just don't have the money to buy it at this point. But I have played the previous Smashes. I had a Nintendo Wii at one point, and there's a couple of people that I know that occasionally when I'm around theirs, I'll play some Smash. What's his name? Little Mac is my main as well. He's my boy. But I feel like the new one is probably a new game, to be honest. Mostly what's tipping me off is the Inklings actually weren't in the last one, I don't think. So I have a feeling this is a completely new one. Also, it's been a good number of years at this point, I think. So I feel like they could probably get a new one out at this point. So I'm getting fucking lightheaded from talking for fucking 40 minutes straight at this point. I don't know how the fuck normal people do this on a regular basis. Jesus Christ. If you're actually autistic enough to actually last this long into the podcast, let me know in the comments below by giving a secret phrase. What should I make the phrase? Let's make the secret phrase to actually let me know they actually made it the whole way through this podcast. America did nothing wrong. There you go. That's your secret phrase. Put that in the comments if you actually made it the whole way through the podcast, and then I'll actually know if you actually did do that. I'm autistic, just like you. Alright. Anyway, if you did actually enjoy it, let me know. Subscribe, like, comment, and all that other bullshit. I've got some new content. Got some bangers coming out the next week or so. Got some longer ones in the works. If you have any longer ones as well, if you really want me to read, email them to me, tweet them to me, or whatever the fuck. It's all on my channel. You can probably find it. It's not fucking hard. But yeah. Thanks for watching, you cunt, you autistic thing, person. Ciao.